your boy Josh here, and we're going to do another lab today, working on network file shares and permissions. So let's just hop right into it. Go ahead, as always, turn on the little red circle there to make it a little easier to follow my mouse. And of course, we're going to pull up Microsoft Azure. If you don't know how to get there, you can always just go to portal.azure.com and it'll get you right where you need to go. I'm going to go ahead and start up the two virtual machines we created, the client one, and also we're going to make sure we start up, of course, our server DC1. It might take just a few moments for those to start up, and of course we have our handy dandy Microsoft remote desktop. We still have both of the virtual machines listed here, and of course, if you're using Mac and you're already closed out, you can always simply just add them through there, add PC, so you'll be good. Or if you're of course on Windows, then you can just use your remote desktop that's already listed there. So give it a few more moments there. Usually it can take a few seconds, but we should be pretty much good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to pull up DC1 here. All right, we're gonna log in as our admin. My domain .com. All right, /Jane_admin. If you've been following along over the few different labs that we've been doing, Jane Doe has been our reoccurring admin, and keep the password simple for the labs. So we're just going password 1, and I already messed up the typing. All right, continue. All right, it's loading. All right, so we're in here. So what we're gonna do, it's automatically opening up the server manager. What we're going to be working in though is Active Directory. I want to go over here to the Windows Administrative Tools, click that down, and we're going down here to Active Directory Users and Computers. Go ahead and get that open, get that running, just like that. All right, we got that open and running. Also, well, first let me actually get to where we're at. All right, so last time we had created a whole bunch of users. Alright, yeah, so it looks like there's about 9,856 items in here, and so far about 2,000 have been retrieved. With the IT professional course that we're doing through Course Careers, Josh provided us with some code to be able to go ahead and create about 10,000 users, and so it looks like about 9,800 of those were created. Granted, for this course, or simply for this lab, we literally only need one user. So definitely we have a surplus for sure, but no worries. But literally they're all a whole bunch of just random words that it generated through the code. So, but we appreciate it for the sake of the lab. So we're here in the employees folder. Let's just pick one of these. Let me see. Oh, this Backco Loeb, however we want to say that there. All right, so we can copy that. All right, and so that's going to be the username that we're going to log into the other virtual machine, client one, is what we call it in the lab. So that way we can try to see about sharing some files and going back and forth. So 1 second there. Let's do it this way. And just minimize that. Click client one. Alright, let's see if he'll let me do it with, if I just simply just paste his display name there. And then just put password 1. Literally all the passwords are the same for this lab, which does make it a little bit easier going back and forth, so it's appreciated. Alright, so for Baco Loeb, or Beko Luibe, or Luibe, I guess depending on if there's accents, if this was to be a real person. So there's that, but as of right now, not a real person. So I was booting up the computer, and we can actually let it do that and put it off to the side for now. Last time I learned this neat little trick, if you like hold that button down for a little bit, it'll, or just let it hover, you can move that to the left. And it's, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of nice, especially when you're hopping back and forth between virtual machines. But that's for the Mac users there. And great, so with the Windows, so you have the, where it just snaps to the side just by dragging it all the way. So there's that as well. All right, so we're going back into DC1. Close this out for back home. All right, so we're gonna go start menu. Go here for the file explorer. Over here to this PC, and going into the local C disk drive. We're going to be creating some folders, and we're going to be obviously sharing them throughout the network so multiple users and user groups can be able to access them in theory, and giving some different permissions than others. So that's what we're going to do right now. So first things up, we're going to go ahead and go with read access. Okay, enter. Alright, and we're going to do that again. This one would be write access. Alright, do that again. And this one is going to be no access. And one more time. All the access. No, this is going to be it's going to be accounting. Alright. Alright, so enter that in. Alright, so what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be going back to each folder and kind of going through the properties and giving it certain accesses and permissions and things like that. So let's go here. Properties. And I don't know if this looks okay for you guys. If you like, we can make it bigger. Depending on, I guess, what you're watching on your phone or on a bigger display, it can, I guess, be a little much that being that small, so I apologize. Alright, so within the properties, see this little share tab, or sharing tab, excuse me. Alright, then we're going to go here to share. And here we're going to type in domain users, just doing a little drop down if you want to find people, but let's go ahead and just put in domain space user. Let's hit add. Okay, sure. Alright, so let's see if we put users, if that's better. There we go. Alright, I liked it now. Alright, notice the permission level here is just simply read. Okay, so we're going to hit share. Alright, and look, you can see a little pathway or the location where the file is, // dc-1 / read - access. Alright, so we can go ahead done on that one. Keep in mind, we kept the permission level at read. The folder also is called read access. It's not by coincidence. So for this one, we're going to right click properties, pretty much follow the same process, go to sharing, hit share. Now for this one, we're going to make sure we also type in domain users, but we're going to obviously do something a little different over here. So type in domain users, plural, add. Alright, then we can drop down and we can put read and write, because we want to make sure this one has read and write access. Okay, we shared it officially. See where that's at. Okay. Alright, and the no access. Let's go down, and we're going down to properties. We are going over to the sharing tab. Share. Alright, now this one's going to be a little different. I know before we've been typing in the domain users, but this one's going to be for domain admins. So type in domain, but this time admins. Click add. Alright, nice. Alright, so now for the domain ads, we want to make sure we give them the access to read and to write and create files if necessary. Share. Done. Wow. Close that out. Alright, now for the accounting one, let me drag this over to the side. Let me make sure that's out, closed out. We're going to skip that one for now, but promise we'll come back to it. For now, we'll go ahead and kind of minimize this, put this off to the side. And we're going back into client one, make it big. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and open up File Explorer in here, or you can open up this file right here. There we go. Alright, and if let's say you copied the location that was there, or you can just type it. I believe it was // DC-1, hit enter. Alright, so we can see the folders that we just created. These two here were defaults, but these are the ones that we created. And so obviously these are the ones that we recently shared as well. And let's go through them real quick. Let's try to see what we have. So let's go. First one up, you guessed it, no access, and we have, look there, no access. So no worries, so it did what it was supposed to do. Let's see this one, read access. Okay, this one, let's just open up the folder. We know domain users have been assigned to it. Let's see if it lets us create anything. Let's go to new, rich text domain. Got a little charm alert in my headset letting me know that we are unable to create the file new rich text document.rtf. Access is denied. Okay, so that did what it was supposed to do as well. But if we open up write access and try to do the same thing, rich text, look at there, we actually have access. Who would have thunk it? So of course you can type something there. We can call the file whatever you want to call it. This is things like lab 7. Just put lab 7. Enter, and if you want, we can open it up. You can type something inside. Hey guys, like, share, and subscribe. Or hire me if you're a recruiter. Hire me. Or hire me. You can save that, exit out, and it'll be there. Alright, so we have that there situated. Now, as far as the read access, no access, write access, it did its job, did everything it was supposed to do correctly. So what we're going to do is go back in to the domain controller, so that way we can do a few other things. Alright, there we are, DC1. Let me make sure everything's good to go there. Alright, now with this one, let's go ahead and make it big. Let's double check a couple things there. Okay. Alright, so for this one, obviously we still have accounting left. We don't want to make it feel lonely, but first we're going to come over here to the Active Directory. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add, let's see here, a new organizational unit, and we're going to call it accountants. Okay, or actually first what we're going to do is call it security groups. Underscore, we'll put them all in caps, keep it uniform just like the lab. And also, apparently don't necessarily have to do this way, most people think with technology, many different ways of doing things, but I want to make sure we keep it uniform for lab's sake. I want to make sure we refresh the domain. There we go. All right. Excuse me. And so now, if we go down to security groups, obviously there's nothing there. We can go ahead and right click, and then we'll go down to, where is it? All right, here, new. All right, and we click group. This is where we can type in accountants. Okay. Group type security. Okay. All right, so it's good to go there. Let's see. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in to the accountants. Obviously, we're going to add some. We're gonna try to add the permission levels, all that good stuff. Well, actually, first let's do that from the not from the accountants, from the accounting folder. Excuse me. Properties over here. There we go. All right, and this put in accountants. All right, and let's give it read and write access. Hit share. Hit done. Hit close. Alright, so we should be good to go there. Now, what we would want to do is kind of hop back to client one, like that big, and we're going to try to see if we can access the accounting and see if it even shows up here. There it goes. Alright, so we'll just hit a little refresh button there. Okay, so we don't have access. That makes sense because our friend that we're using, their display, they're just in the regular domain users group. But if we go back into DC1 and we add them to the accountants group, they should have access. So let's go ahead and do that. Here we are. Make this big. Alright, yeah, we're going to give it a second so I can kind of reducing there. Alright, so we're back in DC1. We have our Active Directory pulled up, and so we're going to make sure we go here's the accountants. We're going to open it. Excuse me. We can go to members. We can see that our members here, there's nothing there. We can go to add, and we can enter in here the display name of our friend if we still had it copied. I do not have a copy, so what I'm going to do is cancel it, exit out there really quick, go to the employees. Alright, do you remember the last name was Weeb? Granted, I could also use the command function and also just put who am I, and for time's sake, let's just go ahead and do that. Let's do that command prompt. Who am, oh, let's do that, who am I? Alright, oh well, this is the Jane admin, apologies. See, that's the beautiful thing about running two workspaces at the same time. It can get a little confusing, but no worries, we can do that right over here as well. CMD, command prompt. Oh, right there. Baco Weeb. Alright, so let's go ahead and make sure. Oh, let's minimize that. Microsoft Azure. Alright. I'll minimize this from here. Let's minimize everything. I want to make sure we type that in correctly. Let's open up like a notepad or something so I can type that there. Notes. Yeah, notepad. Alright, so Baco dot Lowibe. Alright, there we go. Go ahead and copy real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and make it big. Apologize for friends watching on phones. Alright. Here we are. There we go. Alright, so originally we were in security groups, accountants. We went to members of. We obviously saw there was no members there within it because we just created it ourselves, but we're going to add somebody. Go ahead and paste, check the name, verify the name. It's a person within the employees folder. We'll hit apply, hit OK. Alright, so we applied it. We should be good to go. Let me go ahead and minimize the DC one, which is our server. We can go back over here into client, and let's see if we're able to access the accounting folder. So go ahead and minimize that. We can try to refresh. Accounting. Alright. So sometimes whenever we're making some of these updates, looks like specifically adding people to certain groups, it does require for you to log out and log back in order for it to stick. So let's do that. So let's just do a quick, matter of fact, since we have command up, we can just put log off. Bam. Alright, so it's gonna sign us out. We'll give it a few seconds, so then that way we can log back in, and then once we log back in, we should be able to go ahead and pull up the file, and hopefully you have access to accounting if everything worked correctly, if we did everything right. So let's log in. Alright, paste. Alright, it's still there, and our clipboard. Alright, and password 1. Alright, continue. Alright, looks like we're working. Cooking with gas. Alright, so if we hit Windows R, or if you're in a Mac, Command R, you can type in the file destination where we were at last time, which I believe was //DC-1. Hit OK. It should bring up the folder. Nice. Alright, so it worked. And let's see. Drum roll for those watching. Okay, and we have access officially. So that's pretty much it. That concludes the lab. In this lab, we were able to obviously create some access here, share some files about the network. I appreciate you guys checking it out. Another thing I'm going to do is officially clean this up by actually deleting these virtual machines officially, because otherwise they will continue to eat up the free credits that Microsoft gives when you first create an account, which is about $200, at least for right now. And if you continue to let these machines run, they will drain it. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete the resources for now, but I just want to thank you guys. I appreciate you checking this out. I hope you have a good one.